24 years ago, 14-year-old Sarah Benford walked into an amusement arcade in Kettering Town Centre to see her mum. After an argument, Sarah left, telling her mum she'd see her tomorrow. That was the last time Vicky Benford saw her little girl. This is the story of Sarah Benford, a young girl whose disappearance in March 2000 remains one of the most puzzling and heartbreaking cases in recent history. Welcome to Chilling Fireside Stories, where I uncover the truth behind real-life mysteries and tragedies. Before we dive into today's heartbreaking case, a word of caution. This story discusses sensitive topics that may be distressing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. For those interested, images of Sarah and locations tied to her case will appear at the end of the video. Now get cozy, grab a warm drink, and let's begin unraveling the mystery of Sarah Benford. Sarah Benford was born on October 4, 1985, in Kettering, Northamptonshire. Sarah Benford spent her early years in Havelock Street, Kettering, living in an unremarkable red-bricked terrace similar to the homes of thousands of children growing up in the 1990s. She lived with her mum Vicky, stepdad Gavin, brother Josh, and sister Anya. However, Sarah's life began to go awry at a very young age. At just 2 years old, she first appeared on the radar of social services. Sarah started skipping school in reception and was already absconding from home by the age of 8. She began attending Montague School at 11 and was described as a confident, bubbly girl. But by the time she turned 14, Sarah had been in 3 different children's homes, started using drugs and began to self-harm. She was a regular runaway. Her mum Vicky agreed to Sarah going into care to protect her from the petty thieves in Kettering who had sent her out to steal to feed their drug habits. Those investigating her disappearance, those charged with her care, and the media, said Sarah had turned to prostitution and intimated she was a troubled teen who had chosen to run away, to mingle with the wrong crowds and to take hard drugs. Long before Sarah disappeared, authorities would have been concerned about the factors that had led her life down such a troubling path. What circumstances had caused her to be absent from care for 41 out of 150 days? Where had she been staying during those nights away from her care home? These questions highlighted the deep issues in Sarah's life and the gaps in the system meant to protect her. Sarah had only been in care for a few months when she went missing for the final and fatal time. She first entered care in September 1999, following the death of her beloved Uncle Andy. Struggling to cope with this loss, Sarah began associating with older individuals in Kettering and using drugs. She stayed at Raven House Children's Home in Corby before being moved to St. John's in Tiffield, an isolated secure unit run by Northamptonshire County Council. This unit was later described by a former resident as a last resort placement for those with nowhere else to go. She then moved to Welford House Children's Home in Northampton. April 6, 2000 began like any other day at Welford House. Sarah was last seen by staff during the early evening, casually chatting with other residents. There was no indication that she planned to leave. Earlier that day, visited her mum where she worked in an amusement arcade in Kettering Town Centre. They argued. That was to be the final time Vicky saw her daughter. Later that day, Sarah phoned her mum from a house in Hampton Crescent, Kettering. He was high on drugs. A frantic Vicky phoned police and begged them to collect her and take her back to the care home. They refused. She had already been officially missing for 3 days. Documents later handed to this newspaper said police officers had told care home staff they could not and would not collect her and would not take her to Kettering Police Station to babysit her. Witnesses reported seeing her walking toward Northampton Town Centre, a bustling area full of life but also potential dangers. CCTV footage from that evening showed a girl matching Sarah's description walking near Abington Street. The footage, however, was grainy, leaving room for doubt. Did Sarah willingly leave to meet someone she trusted? Or was she coerced or abducted by a predator lying in wait? On May 12, her grandmother, June Black, reached out to reporters at the Evening Telegraph. Frustrated by the lack of progress in finding Sarah, she made a public appeal for her granddaughter's safe return. A £500 reward was later offered. June played a crucial role in maintaining pressure on the authorities to find Sarah until her passing in late 2003, shortly after the murder investigation was launched. The day Sarah went missing, she was wearing typical 1990s teen attire: a black puffer jacket, blue patchwork jeans, and cream trainers. Her heartbroken mum tirelessly searched the streets and parks of Kettering, hoping to find any sign of her daughter. 4 months after Sarah was last seen, in August 2000, workers at Service 6 in Wellingborough reported that Sarah was brought in twice for a pregnancy test. The organization reported this sighting to the police. Officers later stated they believed there had been confirmed sightings of Sarah until April 19, but there was little evidence she was alive beyond 2 or 3 months after her disappearance. Sarah's face appeared on milk cartons and on the sides of lorries, with TV appeals and media campaigns urging the public to come forward with information. Despite 200 reported sightings, none led to a positive outcome. There was a glimmer of hope when a girl resembling Sarah was seen at the supervision shop in Silver Street in May 2003, but this was later dismissed by the police. The family endured 3 long, agonizing years of uncertainty. Derbyshire police were assigned to review the shortcomings in Northamptonshire police's investigation. However, their report was never made public. Over the years, numerous leads have surfaced, including sightings of Sarah in nearby towns. None have led to concrete answers. Police later revealed that Sarah was likely murdered shortly after her disappearance, a chilling statement that left her family and the public grappling with the grim reality. The initial investigation into Sarah's disappearance was riddled with challenges. Police treated the case as a runaway teenager, a decision that wasted precious time in those critical first hours. By the time her case was escalated, vital evidence may have been lost and potential witnesses had moved on. Witness accounts revealed that Sarah had been in contact with several individuals from Northampton's underbelly, including known criminals. Police pursued these leads but struggled to connect the dots. With limited resources and an overwhelmed system, the case grew cold within months, leaving Sarah's family feeling abandoned. In retrospect, the early investigation highlights systemic failures. Advocates for missing children have since pointed to Sarah's case as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the need for immediate and thorough responses to missing persons reports, especially when vulnerable children are involved. Years after Sarah's disappearance, a significant development emerged. Andrzej Konowski, a convicted serial sex offender, was linked to Sarah's case. Konowski had a horrifying history of preying on young women, with evidence tying him to multiple disappearances across the UK. Konowski's arrest in connection to another case brought Sarah's disappearance back into the spotlight. Police began re-examining old evidence, linking Konowski to the Northampton area around the time Sarah vanished. While he was never officially charged in her case, his potential involvement raises disturbing questions about how many lives he may have destroyed. Sarah's disappearance has spurred countless theories, each more chilling than the last. Did she fall victim to trafficking, as some reports suggest? Or was she targeted by a predator like Konowski, who was known to operate in the area? Other theories point to her life in the care system. Was she betrayed by someone she trusted, perhaps a friend or acquaintance from Welford House? The care home's lack of security has drawn criticism, with some questioning whether Sarah's environment made her an easy target. In 2008, Sarah's uncle Steve Cross from Corby expressed his frustration to the Independent newspaper, stating that the police did not take her disappearance seriously at first. He felt that Sarah was merely viewed as another statistic by social services and the police. Initially, there was little concern, but family pressure and media attention forced authorities to act, realizing that the issue wouldn't simply go away. He remarked on the secrecy that often surrounds cases of children going missing from care homes. Sarah's mother, Vicky, has been relentless in her pursuit of justice. Over the years, she has worked tirelessly to keep Sarah's story alive, using media campaigns and public appeals to gather information. Her advocacy has inspired others in similar situations, highlighting the enduring pain of families with missing loved ones. In 2021, Northamptonshire Police launched a renewed investigation, digging up areas of interest and re-examining old evidence. While no new leads have emerged, the renewed efforts offer a glimmer of hope. Could the answers be buried in overlooked evidence, or is the key to solving Sarah's case still out there, waiting to be uncovered? Sarah's case is a sobering reminder of the dangers faced by vulnerable youth. For parents, guardians, and caregivers, communication is key. Create an environment where children feel safe discussing their concerns. For teens, stay aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts. Something feels wrong, seek help immediately. Keep trusted contacts informed about your whereabouts, especially when meeting someone new. Communities can play a role by watching out for signs of exploitation and reporting suspicious behavior. Together, we can create a safer world for vulnerable youth. For anyone impacted by Sarah's story or dealing with a missing loved one, as always, I leave the links to related organizations and support groups in the description. These resources offer support, guidance, and hope for families in crisis. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the heartbreaking case of Sarah Benford. Her story is a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, compassion, and community support. Sarah was 5 feet 7 inches with blue and gray eyes and a self-made tattoo of a cross on the top of her arm. She would now be 38. If you have any more information about the disappearance of Sarah Benford, please contact Northamptonshire Police at 101 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Let's be the voice for Sarah and others like her, ensuring their stories are never forgotten. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Chilling Fireside Stories for more true crime documentaries. Together we can make a difference. Until next video, stay curious, stay warm, and stay safe.